Right. Okay. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us. My name is Audrey. I am joining you all from Brant Community Healthcare System. We would like to acknowledge that Brant Community Healthcare System is located on the traditional lands of Huron-Wendat, the Haudenosaunee, and the Mississauga of the First Credit Nations, and today it is home to many Indigenous people. This land is governed by the Dish with One Spoon covenant between the Haudenosaunee Confederacy and the Confederacy of Ojibwe and allied nations. The covenant is an agreement to share, work, and protect this land together in harmony. As an organization, we're committed to working together with Indigenous people to address health inequities and creating a care environment that is free from discrimination and racism against Indigenous patients, family, and staff. We're committed to creating a culturally safe care environment following Indigenous healing practices and medicine, promoting cultural competence, and creating opportunities for Indigenous health practitioners. On behalf of the Healthy Hospital Working Group, I want to welcome you to Pet Therapy. Before we get started, as you can see, we're sharing a screen. There is a QR code if you have a smartphone that can scan. If not, we have also included the link in the chat. I will post it again. Please scan to give us a survey of today's pet therapy session, and then your name will be entered for one of our prize draws at the end in November. Sorry, in the beginning of November. I will now pass it over to Asada to talk about pet therapy.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Audrey. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Unfortunately, this session was supposed to be pet therapy with JT, who's a golden retriever, and his handler, Kathy. Unfortunately, Kathy is not feeling well, so she's going to be away today. So as we're recording the session, again, I want to remind you, you have the option to keep your camera on or off during this recording. I'm going to be playing a video, sharing some information in the chat. And of course, if you have any questions, I will do my best to answer, especially I can answer questions as an organization or a department that has shared a pet therapy with many departments in our organization. So if you have any questions from a workplace wellness standpoint with regards to pet therapy, I'd like to answer those questions. At the same time, I'd like to share some information with you before we open the floor to questions. So I'm just playing this video. There's no sound on the video, but there you go. Kathy was supposed to be here, and she is going to be featured in one of the pictures in a moment. So many benefits to pet therapy: lowering blood pressure, just bringing an overall sense of health and well-being to people that participate in it. If you are the owner of a pet, I'm sure you can attest to the benefits of having a pet. And there is a difference between pets that is a service animal versus a pet that is a therapy animal. I'll give you resources to answer some of those questions as well. In general, when it comes to pet therapy or therapeutic pets, they can be any type of pet. So what you're seeing in video now, you can see dogs, you can see cats, you can see horses, guinea pigs, rabbits. Any animal can bring, and this is information from Kathy, the handler, as well. Any pet can bring some joy or therapeutic benefit, but therapy animals, and this is a picture of her at that top corner of that slide that you're seeing right now. That's Kathy and one of her pets. When it comes to Therapeutic Paws of Canada, they are by no means the only organization that offers therapeutic pets to organizations and to patients, but this is the organization that we at UHN are working with because they're a volunteer organization, which means that they're free of charge. And what we do is we compensate the handler directly. I'm going to play again a video that gives you more details about Therapeutic Paws of Canada, but let me just say for you now that Therapeutic Paws of Canada is free. It's a volunteer-based pet therapy dog and cat visitation program, and that their volunteers are actually certified Their volunteers and their certified pets visit with members of their communities in hospitals, seniors residents, long-term care facilities, and wherever the need there is a need. So you'll see that there's support pet that you can see there, and on that slide you can see that there are programs that they share. They actually have programs for seniors, programs for children. As that video plays, I'm actually going to share in the chat the website where you can get more information about TPOC, and TPOC stands for Therapeutic Pets of Canada. Reminding you, for those that have just come in, any questions or comments you have about pet therapy, we are open and willing and happy to answer those questions for you. I'm going to stop sharing for a moment. You're very welcome. So there's the website there. And what do I want to say about this Therapeutic Paws of Canada? Again, they're volunteer, they are free. They have something called the Paws Room. They have support pets, and they actually don't certify the pets, but they can do evaluations to know, so that you can know if your pet could be useful as a therapy pet. But what they do is they certify the handlers. They have a program called Paws of Comfort, and this is where they visit first responders, they visit shelters, hospice, disaster sites, grief loss support. They support schools that have crisis and victim services. And our handler that's regularly here, again, her name is Kathy, and she couldn't be here because she's not feeling well. She's actually a psychotherapist and does a lot with victim services, with Children's Aid and through the court services, getting victims to be comforted enough so that they can testify, for example. There's a program called Pause to Read by Therapeutic Paws of Canada. And this is offered in primary schools and libraries free of charge. There's Possibilities, where they offer programs for people of all ages. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and share the website that I'm actually looking at, if you don't mind. Share. Here you go. Make that a little bigger. So Possibilities, for example, is a program for people of all ages to explore the full possibility to reach their goals. And this is a program that works with occupational health therapists and professionals. And just forgive me for scrolling up. Watch your eyes as I scroll through. Here's where the support pet that I mentioned. This is a support program that's designed to accommodate specific requests from organization, and that's what we did at University Health Network. They also have victim witness assistance programs for the judicial system. For us at UHN, we are a hospital, a series of hospitals, but mostly here at Toronto General, Princess Margaret, and some of our satellite centers for rehabilitation. We're offering this program to staff only. So what I want to do next is, before we open the floor to questions, I want to share a quick video feature of Therapeutic Paws of Canada. They were featured on CBC. And just in case there are any glitches, you have the link here for you to look at now or later. I'm going to share my screen and share this, but hopefully there's no glitches with regards to sharing this video. I'm going to share sound as well. So just give me a moment. Apologies. Audrey, are you able to click on this link and share this video, including sound? I'm getting a notification that I'm not going to be able to share sound because of the Bluetooth device I'm using. Do you want to give it a try? Are you feeling brave?
I will share.
Perfect. Thank you. Don't forget to include sound when you share.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Just give me a few minutes. I'm trying to get it to.
In the meantime, technology is great, but also sometimes challenging. Yes. So thanks for your
That's
patience,
okay.
everyone. Thank you.
Are you guys able to see my screen?
Yes, Audrey, perfectly fine. Gonna play it.
And reverses type 2. Thousands of people are apparently regaining control of their blood sugar every night as they sleep
Can
by
you all hear
adding
the
one
sound?
unusual ingredient to a
Yes,
glass of
sound is
warm
great.
water before bed.
Okay.
If you're
You
type
can skip
2 or
the video now.
pre-diabetic,
Thanks.
Sorry.
We had some new co-workers here at the CBC headquarters today. Some lucky folks got to visit with a few therapy dogs over lunch. And Colette, she was moderating a discussion panel about the benefits about getting some love from our furry friends.
Yes, and there are lots of benefits. So these dogs are part of a not-for-profit program. It's called Therapeutic Paws of Canada. And the volunteers bring their dogs to workplace, hospitals, could be to schools. They offer a little mental health break for people who may be going through a stressful time. I spoke to several of the volunteers who brought their dogs in today, and one of them was even a Canadian Olympic athlete. So take a look. Milo, how do you find this? Do you enjoy this, being a therapy dog?
He's so chill. It does not matter who you are, how you feel. They will just spend time with you, give you love, sit beside you, let you pet them. You look into their loving eyes and you see it. You see the love.
Will you tell us your story's unique about where you first came to interact with a therapy dog?
At one point, I was an inpatient in a mental health ward at a hospital, and during my 10-day stay, I got visited by a therapy team with a dog twice, and the first time it was the most incredible experience to have that sense of joy, trust in another animal, and when I left, I reached out immediately to Therapeutic Paws of Canada to get involved because I knew my little girl Tia here would be perfect for the program, and to be able to share her cute little face with everybody else, you know.
This is the best day ever. If every day at work were like this, I'd probably be happier. I lost my dog a long time ago. This to me was like the perfect thing because I could never get another dog again. And
So it's still a way to share and enjoy.
exactly, yes, it's just, I still get that feeling.
Unconditional love, that's what they give us. So lovely.
Yeah, and so many of our colleagues were down there today. And where was Tia? Where was your little pooch?
I have something in common with an Olympic skier.
Okay.
Oh, not my skiing, my dog. My dog's
Hi,
name is
Tia.
also Tia. This is my rescue pup. She was a foster dog, and Dwight, I'm what they call a foster failure.
Why?
I fostered her and couldn't give her up. I fell in love, so I adopted her.
And she gives
So
you that unconditional love back.
Absolutely.
It was a great day to see all our employees
so
down
much
there
fun.
giving them rubs and hugs. We're going to stand here talking about dogs, and the show's going to be over, so we've got to stop now. And
All
this
right.
is why she's been wearing this
That's why I'm
sweater
in the dog
all day.
sweater.
It wasn't laundry day.
Not because the weather's gone to the dogs.
That's a good one. That's it for us tonight. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you back here tomorrow at 6.
Amazing. Thanks, Audrey. Thank you so much for sharing that. So I think we need to go back a little bit. So yes, heart-filled, great feelings, and it's very similar to the feedback that we've gotten here at UHN with regards to pet therapy. We have Monty, which is a hairless cat, and JT, which is a golden retriever, and those are the two most popular ones that have been available to help us. And this feedback has been phenomenal. People tearing up a little bit, people just an overall feeling of joy. In the beginning, I believe we started with a booking system. Loose one, Excel, type in the time that you're available and the time that you like to see the dog, and we had the dogs here in our wellness center. That didn't go over too well, I don't think, because timing. one person wants to spend 10 minutes, someone's late, someone's early, and so on. So what it ended up being is, instead of people coming into the wellness center, we would do it on the unit or in a meeting room that's available to that specific team. In general, we can't hear the speaker. They can't hear me? Oh, sorry. I'm getting a notice from another meeting, many meetings today. Apologies. Um, so what happens is they go to a meeting room, and then it's just sort of a drop-in. And what happens is the handler was really good at managing expectations around, well, I want to touch the dog, I want to touch the cat, or I want to do something. So just bit by bit, with the cat being held as a baby, I guess, they would take them to people, or people would approach. With JT would sit, and people would just sort of be around, and JT would literally go to people that the dog instinctively knew needed a little bit of support, and the dog would just sort of sit there, and then someone else would walk into the room, and then he would sort of ease away and go to the next person as they needed it. And so I joked with a coworker, because in between the handler going to sessions, she would stop by the wellness center, and we're all sitting around, and every once in a while JT would come up to me, and I'd be like, JT, get out of my business. I'm having a great day. Nothing is wrong here. But he's so sweet and just so kind. And so that's one of the experiences. So I want to go back just a tiny bit, because I think we're all familiar with the benefits, but there's a great little video that talks about some of the benefits of pet therapy. So, and this is information that you might want to share with your teams when it comes to maybe selling the benefits to your team, if that's something that you need to do. So putting in the chat and then asking Audrey for your assistance again, would you mind playing this video as well? Thank you.
Did you know that petting a cat can actually reduce high blood pressure? That riding a horse has been shown to improve strength, flexibility, and even mood? Or that a recent study found interacting with dogs can reduce the need for pain medication by as much as 50% in people recovering from surgery? The stress hormone cortisol has been linked with a number of diseases and disorders, and has been shown to decrease through animal-assisted therapy. At the same time, beneficial hormone levels like oxytocin and dopamine increase. In fact, therapy animals have been shown time and time again to promote and improve good health in people facing a whole host of challenges. From autistic children to seniors residing in nursing homes, people respond to animal-assisted therapy on not only an emotional level, but in physical ways. Spending time with animals, whether horses, dogs, cats, birds, or guinea pigs, is a valuable addition to other treatment approaches. Animals improve motivation and happiness, and reduce feelings of loneliness and stress. Animal-assisted therapy can be a valuable tool for boosting health and quality of life in people of all ages. Yay! To learn more about animal-assisted therapy, visit the Information Center at carrierclinic.org.
Great. Thank you. Thank you, Audrey. So sharing what the benefits are, sharing what the benefits are is a great way to help to promote your program. Using Therapeutic Pets of Canada, using their website. I found that the website didn't talk much about the benefits, but a simple Google search, and then from there choosing a source that you find useful or credible is something that I would suggest. So I'm going to put in the chat my simple search to help you to start your search. There you go. So different spots from that link of areas that you can go. That's a great start when you're looking at benefits. The other thing I found with some of the videos, and this one, I don't know if you noted or not, it seemed a little bit dated. Even that CBC interview was probably about maybe 6 to 10 years old. So from my quick research, I'm not seeing anything very recent, but as a pet owner and a foster family myself, I can attest to the benefits. One of the questions you might have is, what is the difference between a service animal and a therapy animal? And I don't have the answer to that, but I think a quick Google search or a chat with someone from Therapeutic Paws of Canada will give you that quick answer as well. Does anyone have any questions that I might be able to answer? Go for it. I saw you unmute again.
I was gonna give a chance to Audrey. Audrey, did you have a question before I can ask?
No, you go first.
Okay, I was just wondering, when was this program introduced to UHN?
Great question. Our program for staff only, because there may have been other programs for patients. Our program for staff only is probably about, I would say, no more than 2 years old. So very recent.
No more than 2 years.
And very recent.
You have heard of its benefits, like staff have talked about it, and it's also in like, have you guys recorded the momentum that milestones of how great this program is for the staff?
We've recorded
for that, yeah.
Milestones in the sense of statistics with regards to their feedback and statistics with regards to how many departments are asking for this program. So yes, absolutely, absolutely. And they're asking for the program across our UHN sites. So not just downtown Toronto is where our biggest sites are, but our outer regions as well.
That's amazing. Congrats on the launch and continuation of the program.
Yeah, thank you. Is your organization thinking of adding pet therapy for your staff?
I believe BCHS is already doing something of that sort, but not in a wide range. But we do have a couple of therapy dogs that come.
Great.
Yes.
And can you share what your feedback has been? Why is it not a wide? And what organization are you using for pet therapy?
I'm not sure, actually. I can't give you any of the details. I haven't personally experienced it, but I have seen. Now I'm wondering, because we don't know the difference between therapy dog and support dog, and I'm not sure if it's just a volunteer with a support dog that came over to see some of our patients in visiting units. I'll have to find out more. We'll see if Audrey has some of the feedbacks from BCHS side. Audrey?
Yes, I have question first, but I'll answer the first one. So we're actually doing like a pilot with staff. We don't have anything that's established for our team here that's like ongoing. We're trying to look at something that we can build on. We just have it for times where we have difficult situation because we have a peer support program. So whenever we respond and the team requests, or if we think it's going to be beneficial, that's when we would request for them, and they're volunteers. And I believe they're registered through the one you shared. Yes. Yes, my question I had was, so for the teams that request, is it just a request they send in, or do they have to, like, something happen, and how has that worked out so far? Because I know you say you started with people could book the time and then you changed that.
Right, perfect question. So again, we started with individuals booking, and then we went to groups booking. And we book a room and we say, everybody, we have pet therapy between 9 and 12 on Thursday, show up, and then it's a drop-in. So I hope that answers the question with only Therapeutic Paws of Canada. I think I missed a part of your question there.
Yes, I was gonna say what has been, since you changed it, what has been the outcome like? Has that worked out better?
Yes, that's a great question. And yes, I believe it has worked out much better. I'm giving secondhand knowledge or secondhand information because we're a small team, but we all have our own sort of portfolios, and that's not my specific portfolio. So on behalf of my coworker who handles that booking, I just know from conversations with her that it's definitely less confusion and more satisfaction among people that are partaking when it's drop-in versus they have a set time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I have another question, but I'll let
Sure.
Zita ask first, and then I'll go.
Okay. Hi, Zita.
Hello. I guess my question would be like, because I think Akata, you guys said that you have like the therapy dog program is something that's kind of stable in your organization.
Yes.
Does the dog go up to the clinical units, or do staff have to come down to see and meet the dog? Because like I know some hospitals like their IPAC restrictions are different, so that's a kind of something that like I'm looking into as well. But like, but for you guys, does the dog go up to the clinical units?
That's a great question. I believe that there are some units that the dog has gone on to, but what unit specifically was it? That would be a great question. I'm going to go ahead and invite my coworker into this meeting and see if she'll respond. Um, uh, but yeah, yeah. That is a great question. And we have IPAC here as well. So
Because
we'll
like that's
see
something
if
that I that's like because I would love, I wish I could bring a therapy dog to just go to all the units. I think a
right.
lot of the nursing staff would love that. But I mean, obviously that's not going to be 100% allowed. But in terms of having, like, say for example, I think you mentioned that you've had it where like you had it where it's like, okay, we have a therapy dog from so and so time, like come down
Yes.
to meet the dog.
Yes.
How did you find that worked for you, and how do you find that the staff worked around that?
I find that I believe that the staff really enjoyed that better because it, because it's sort of like it's like a group meeting. It's like it's like you can experience it vicariously. I think if you're not a pet owner or if you're not familiar with that specific pet, it might be some people are very open and touchy-feely, and some people just want to be in the environment. And so you have the chance to choose and experience both. So it's a bit of a vicarious healing sensation, I'll say, by just being in the room. And as I mentioned, JT is very good at going towards people that kind of need a little more attention. And yeah, from the feedback that I've heard, it's been successful. For those that want a little more time with the pet, I believe that on their own in their own time and space they go. But I also remember hearing that the handler is very good at managing the room, and I'm thinking that management is a bit of making sure that everybody has access. Yeah.
Awesome, thank you.
You're welcome, and I hope that answered the question. Good. Okay. Audrey, did you have another question for me? Or a question that I could take away and get answered in another forum, maybe if I can't answer?
Yeah. So one of the things for our staff, maybe because we do it a little bit differently, the
Yes.
challenge we've had is that like the pet owners, a lot of like, because they're volunteers, again, they have their own stuff that they do outside of work. It has been hard, like scheduling time, especially when staff are needing that kind of support. So for you guys, how has that worked out? Like, is it that the pet owner and they schedule their time that works best for them, or is it that you have times that you share with them? Because I know, like you say, they're volunteers as well there.
That's right. Good question. It's definitely collaborative. So the time that works for the handler and the time that works for the department and the time that's available if we're booking a room. So it's that three-pronged effect. So it's not always as smooth and as speedy as I believe people would like. I think they would like more of that, more pet therapy. But scheduling, I think, is a bit of a challenge. Also, Zita, in that regards as well, you asked, how do we do it? Is it a crisis situation, or is it just people just requesting it? At Lib, we have a code lavender here. So I don't believe that, from my knowledge, anything has been done, like sort of something happens and a part of Code Lavender is the addition of a pet therapy, I believe it's the responsibility of either a wellness champion, a manager, supervisor, in conversation with our manager, and then they can make that schedule something for a team that needs it specifically. I believe that's how it's done, as opposed to a part of the crisis response. I wish it was a part of the crisis response, though, because I think it's a good idea and I believe in it. But again, scheduling issues is probably um, more involved than I can appreciate on the outside. Audrey, go ahead.
Yeah, so we do have it as like part of our crisis response, which is probably why we have a hard time with scheduling, because they're not always available. But if you do, yes, so if you do know of an organization that has something that's more of like the crisis response, please feel free to share with me, because I would love to learn how they're doing their program, because that's something we're really hoping to continuously develop and work around that, because that's where most of the time people have felt the need of wanting to have pet therapy be available for them.
Right. Funny enough, in the chat is information from St. John's Ambulance Therapy Dogs programs, and I believe that Divya from Sick Kids is using this organization. I'm not sure if this organization is free, and this particular link has to do with people that are interested in becoming handlers. I don't know if we should share this video. I don't know if anyone's interested in volunteering, but that's what that video is focused on if you're interested in volunteering. But at the same time, that organization is an organization that you could use for pet therapy and other pet therapy programs. I don't know the names specifically, but I believe they do charge. So there might be a benefit in using a program that charges for pet therapy if you're looking at more availability. That's just an assumption on my side.
Okay.
I just have a quick comment.
Yes.
So I know already you're looking for crisis response and then having that therapy dog come in, but I'm wondering if you allocate a time, like a specific time in reoccurring date, let's say every 2 weeks, and you've got an hour session of, let's say, the chapel opening, and you're having these supportive therapeutic paws that come in, if those that encounter crisis ever so often, a list of those people, if they can get access to those therapy sessions every 2 weeks of paw therapies scheduled in, I wonder how their nervous systems will react to crisis on a daily basis, as opposed to not having that therapy in the first place and then going through a crisis. So let's say you're expecting a crisis, therapeutic paws dog to come in for next week Tuesday. You're feeling a little bit too overwhelmed. You'll talk about it, but the fact that Tuesday you'll be seeing a therapeutic pose, your nervous system may be a little bit inclined to have that relaxation approach, as opposed to a reaction that isn't really conducive to the immune system. I don't know how much that plays in a role, but I'd be curious to learn the difference between the two. So having that designated time and then the reactions of those crises. But something to explore. Start with your vision and then perhaps fall back for the 2 week, depending on availability, and then seeing the stark differences between the two. It may just be a collective thing that could work for more people than just a selective few. I don't know, just food for thoughts. It's not really my arena, but I am curious to learn more too. Thanks.
Thanks for sharing that. Audrey, what are your thoughts on that?
I think because we have tried some things where we schedule a time, the challenges we encounter is that a lot of the people, like a lot of the departments that we have flagged that would need a lot more of that support, can't leave their department or unit to come to that. And even times where we have scheduled a space within their department, they're not even able to go into that space. They want the dogs to come to their nursing station, and something we've worked with them, and I'm sure they've worked with IPAC as far as to that. So that's the challenge that we've seen, and a lot of the feedback that we have received is that they want to leave, but they can't sometimes, especially if they're short-staffed. So it's something that we had to look into and figure out how we can best support those teams. But it'd be great to see what would that happen. But we have had times where we've scheduled just the dogs to walk through those units when it's not related to a crisis, in which they love it. That's something they have chosen after a crisis that they would like the dogs to pass by, rather than other supports. And if they need a debrief, then we'll schedule that on a later date. So that's why, that's what we've seen.
That's amazing. Okay, so time is a huge factor. So barriers, especially for nursing staff, we can foresee that. But if it becomes really challenging and the numbers are bigger, then perhaps having a conversation with management team and see if they're just forced to take that 15 minutes off, no exceptions, and then do sort of a rotation in the bars. But another conversation, bigger conversation always takes place. So thanks for today. Asata, nice name.
Thank you for that. I appreciate that. I appreciate the conversation as well. I'm hoping that people will find this useful. I want to remind you of the links in the chat. I've invited my coworker who deals specifically with this. And again, apologies for our representative from Therapeutic Paws of Canada not being available today. She would have given you a robust conversation and would have been able to answer more of your questions. I have, I said that, yes, I mentioned I've invited my coworker. So maybe if my coworker can make it here in the next 5 minutes, then she will be able to answer some more questions. In the meantime, does anyone have any other questions? And also in the meantime, I'm going to replay this video that has no sound, just because looking at pets moving around is great. So hopefully you can see that. And not to make this about me, but I really like this video with this orange cat. I'm a foster fail, and the cat that I have is an orange cat as well. And his name is Dennis the Menace. Anybody else pet owners on the line here? It's okay if you're not.
He used to be, but she died.
Oh.
Alaskan Malamute, the most beautiful pup ever.
Oh, how old?
She was 7, turning 8.
Wow.
Fairly young.
Yeah.
And then I tried raising 2 fish, and they died on me before a week.
Yeah,
so I said,
not good.
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
not
maybe
good.
I'm not a fish parent.
Mm-hmm.
So I've moved on. Yeah.
Same. Oh dear.
How many do you have?
For me, just one, the one cat.
Just one?
Yeah.
A cat?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
congrats.
Yeah.
That's cute.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah.
Cats
yeah.
are sassy, but
Orange
fun.
tabby. Oh yeah, sassy. And this orange tabby, he is needy and opinionated, and
Really? Oh, she's a home.
just great. Yeah. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yes. All right. So thank you for sharing that, everyone. I don't see my coworker on the line. I'm giving her exactly 60 more seconds. And if you look at the chat, Audrey has shared the link for the feedback form. Maybe I will just share that instead of playing this video there. Oh, oops, let me pause that there. So if you have your smartphone, Audrey, you can do your closing spiel. I won't do it for you.
That's okay. I was just happy that the work is cut out for me, so don't worry. Yes, so we just wanted to say thank you, everyone, for joining and participating and having such a great conversation about pet therapy. Again, if you can please scan and give your feedback for today's session, and your name will be entered for one of the prize draws that will be completed at the beginning of November. I was supposed to say end of November. That'll be nice touch to going into December for Christmas. But yes, if you can, and if you don't have a smartphone or the QR code is not working for you, I have attached the link. We do have a session we still do have more sessions for the Healthy Workplace Month Next session will be on October 21st. I was about to say November. October 21st. It has to do with strength and conditioning. If you would like more information, please reach out to your wellness team at your organization, and I'm sure they probably have more information. If not, if you can copy your names, I don't know if I want to like my email. Sorry, I forgot to put my email in case you want the link for that information.
No problem. So please drop in your email. And Charity, thank you for letting us put you on the spot. We do have 2 quick questions about pet therapy that you can answer. I was just about to stop recording. Hi, thank you, everyone. This is Charity. She is our guru when it comes to pet therapy. She's the organizer, and she's the reason why we wouldn't have pet therapy without her. So the specific question I believe that we wanted answered was with regards to offering pet therapy on the unit clinic side. How have you handled pet therapy on a clinical unit? Or do the pets not go on the unit? Do they go to a meeting room?
Yes, so what we do in UHN particularly is that we book a room for them because we don't want to like we just wanted to stick with the rules and everything. So might as well just be sure that the room that we're going to provide for the pet therapy and for the staffs are all in good like in legal and that's because that's basically about it. Like the team will book for us, and I mean like for their team, the coordinator will book for their team, and then we're going to go to their department, and then they are the one who's in charge for booking the room. But if they don't have any room, we are the one who can book a room for them. We can use the library over here or anywhere that is more that can be more friendly to other team members. And as much as
Right.
possible, we wanted to make sure that one of the the participants are not allergic to dogs or to cats. That's the most important thing. Safety is the most important thing for this program.
Excellent. Thank you. One more question. Zita, go ahead.
Sorry. So, so when you guys book a room, like let's say for example, it's for like a specific unit or like a specific floor. Do you guys book a room on that floor or somewhere near that unit, or is it somewhere that's kind of like? Because I know some hospitals have like academic rooms, that are not anywhere near close to where the unit or the floor is. Is that normally like how you guys like the rooms that you guys use, or do you guys try and find if there's a room that you can book on the actual floor of like the? Okay.
Yeah, so much as possible, they book on the actual floor so that the staffs can go there easily.
Okay.
I hope it answers all your
No,
questions.
no, it's all good. Sorry. It's just because so I'm from North York General and like this is something that like really wanted. So because I went to Humber and at Humber we actually have a dedicated therapy dog that was there on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Yeah, he's so cool. His handler gives out trading cards of him. It's super awesome. And it's a fun game.
Aw.
Yeah, it's so fun to collect whenever he comes around.
Oh, that's amazing.
Right. So I think actually you brought up a good point. So you mentioned allergies. Like, do you guys have to have the staff sign a waiver or a liability or anything like that before they are before they participate with in the pet therapy?
So,
Great question.
yeah, that's a great question. I'm so sorry. Do you want to answer that, Asad? So I don't really have those waiver because first and foremost, me and the coordinator, we've already settled as much as possible. They should know that if the staffs are allergic to this one, I mean like to the pet or not. And sometimes the staff is being mindful if he or she is allergic, she will not go to the room that is booked during the event. Because it's, basically we wanted to share this experience not only for one person, but for everybody as well. So, yeah.
No, that's good because I know some people that are like they're allergic to the dogs, but when you can't just like you you're like I'm gonna sacrifice for like. But no, it's perfect. Thank you so much, Charity.
Yeah, no worries.
Thank you as well, Asada.
You're very welcome. All right. So with that, it's now 12:45 on the dot. Thank you so much. This ends the session. Remember to check the chat. I hope you've cut and paste all the links. And thank you so much. Take good care, everyone.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Enjoy
Thank
your
you.
week,
Have a
everyone.
wonderful
Bye.
day.
Have a good
Bye.
day.
You too. Bye now.